All right, Coach, why don't you start with your opening statement?
Yeah. Hey, we got the win tonight. It's always good to get a W, especially when you're not playing your best. And we know we don't want to be playing our absolute best right now. We got room to grow. We got a team that's, finding themselves. So I was just really happy with the resiliency, especially the third quarter, how we picked up our defense and kind of gave ourselves a separation.
Questions just for the student athlete to start, please.
For either of you guys, defensively, this was probably your best performance of the season. You guys had the big drought that you guys forced was 11:42, and then you had two separate 5-minute droughts that you also forced. What was clicking so well with your defense tonight?
I think we really had to fall back on it tonight. Obviously when offense isn't flowing the way you want it to, you have to make something happen, and it's not pretty. It's ugly work, but it's what we're willing to do to get ahead if offense just doesn't follow.
Yeah, I have to agree. I just think when you're missing on one end, I think on the other end you have to make sure that they're missing too, because that makes it more fun for us.
Lewis, I don't know how much I'm supposed to ask because we're both in fourth estate, but you had probably your best game of the season so far. Although the team itself wasn't the best offensively, you took your shots well. You were 4 for 5, and you were contributing on defense as well. What does it feel like to kind of be a really big contributor in a win like this?
I've been playing basketball for a long time. It's nice to not be a transfer or returner, and kind of know the system and everything. And I'm kind of here to just fill in whatever gaps are there. I'm here to win. So sometimes that's defense. Tonight it was more offense and everything, but I'm just kind of here to do the dirty work.
And then for you, MJ, I noticed early on you took, I think, in like back-to-back possessions, you took a fadeaway in the low post in the same spot. I just wanted to ask, when you find a spot like that where you're in a rhythm and you're quite assertive when you take the shot, I feel like when you got the ball, you just took it right away. What's it like when you know that you can really be successful with this shot? What goes into that thought process, even if it's like a split-second thing?
Well, first I just want to shout out Coach Frank because that's all her work right there. That's all her work right there. But honestly, it's kind of how the defense is playing me. So I know initially, I feel them on my back. If they're on either side, I know which way I can turn. It's like you said, it's a split-second decision. So
she does it to me in practice too.
Here.
Well, good game, ladies. So, MJ, you play with such a high motor and just relentlessness. What fuels that motor that gets you going, even if it doesn't show up on the stat sheet?
For me, I think just passion, energy. I am a very passionate, emotional person, and I am very big on you can't diminish that. So sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. But I'm gonna bring energy all the time, just because I've been in basketball for about 6 years in college, so I've been in plenty of situations. So I know that energy is the one thing that you can't teach. So I can bring it every single day.
All right, thank you, players. Thank you.
So, Coach, you all locked in defensively this game. You kept them scoreless for over 11 minutes. What was the message or mindset behind that defensive intensity during that run?
Yeah, I think that we were kind of getting caught up in our offensive woes, and we just had to kind of turn that energy around and say, well, you know what, let's fuel the defense, because our defense can fuel our offense.
Coach, I guess it's a little bit of the elephant in the room. The three-point shooting tonight, you guys were over 13. Last game, guys were 3 of 18. Is it a concern for you, or is it more of just, hey, we're taking good shots, shots are gonna fall, kind of thing?
Yeah, I think it's both, right? I think it is a little concerning because we are definitely a better three-point shooting team than we're showing right now, and it's just it's still early in the season. We're gonna find our stride and try to figure out why those shots aren't falling. But there's no panic in that, right? I think we have great players taking great shots, and some of them are just right there in and out, and we'll figure it out. But I'm very confident in our team's ability to score the ball.
What was your message to the team post-game? It felt like the energy was a little bit different tonight. Obviously, there's a lot of things ahead, especially Maryland coming up on Sunday. What was your message post-game to your team tonight?
I just think we got to start figuring out offensively, especially the shots that we're getting, taking advantage of them. There were a couple of key layups that, just shots that are regular. And we just got to start taking advantage of those because, I think that definitely helps to fuel our defense.
Last question.
Defensively, you guys had another really good game of taking the ball away. You had 26 takeaways compared to 13 turnovers, so it probably helps to win the turnover battle in a game like this. What goes into the practice of teaching how to steal the ball? Because it feels like every player is just putting a hand on the ball, affecting the play in some way. You had players tripping over themselves today. What goes into teaching that defensive tenacity?
Well, I just think that if you're going to play in this program, it starts from the recruiting, that we're a defensive-minded team first. And I think we are really blessed to have great offensive players, but, the staff has been together for a long time, and we understand and we know that defense wins championships. Offense sells tickets. But and our we've been really proud of the fact that both of them have created some symmetry at the same time. When we're offensively clicking, that defense doesn't go out the window. So it's a part of the program. It's a part of our DNA, and so we get after it in practice every day to make sure that is a staple. So that in games like this, when the shooting isn't what we want, that the defense can hold.